He's starting something bad, and PYT. So tell us what you found out, because when I was listening to it, it sounded like he said something about some vegetables.
He did. He said, I think, what did he say? You a vegetable?
Yes.
And they gonna eat you like one too, or something like
Michael
that.
was real.
He was, but also he said, if you can't have no baby, don't have no baby. Y'all, if you can't afford to put clothes on the baby back, don't put clothes. You don't need to have a baby. Stop laying down in these streets.
Well,
Michael said it, y'all.
I'm sorry. We do promote children here at Clean Fit Junkie Radio. It's just appropriate timing for children. So I think that's what Rose meant. Is that right, Rose?
Yes, Michael also said, don't be telling lies.
Oh.
Don't be running your mouth.
Anyway, sounds like Rose has a personal problem she needs to handle.
Yep, I do.
But yeah, Michael was spitting some stuff on that little song. I think Michael was a true icon. It's amazing. I think we thought he was a little crazy. I think America.
I never thought he was crazy.
I think America didn't really know how to take Michael, but Michael had problems from Joe.
But if you think about it, Joseph. But if you think about it, every legend has some type of internal issue. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, and his children that he's dealt with. Chris Brown got his own issues. Like, they're all genius in their own right.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't want to get too much into Michael because we do have something to talk about today. I do want to talk about the American Heart Association, and we talk about that because of American. Why do I keep saying American? Heart disease.
It is. That's the Heart Association. There's an organization.
Yes, I'm seeing it in my head, but I do want to talk about heart disease for a little bit. You hear about heart disease and you don't really think it can affect you, but it is actually one of the disease that kill the most people.
What exactly is it? Because I don't know.
Good. I have the answer. Heart disease. I'm going to actually just read it.
Okay.
Heart disease is about 600,000 people die of the disease a year. Mm-hmm. It's the leading cause of death for both men and women. And heart disease is just that. It's a disease within your heart. There's nothing else to it. But it's a cause of different things. Your diet.
Does it have anything to do with like the heart not getting enough oxygen to the heart or anything like that?
It does say it doesn't really. I don't really have that part. I just have the statistics of it. You know what I mean? But we can Google it out there. I just know that I wanted a lot of people to know that it does affect more people than we think. You think about cancer, and you're like, okay, breast cancer, and I'm not downplaying that at all. But you think about those other diseases first versus heart disease. So I just wanted to bring a little awareness around it. It is the leading cause of death for both men and women. More than half of the deaths due to heart disease in 2009 were men.
Dang, so it affects men more.
Yep. And coronary heart disease is the most common type of heart disease, and it kills 380,000 people a year.
So my question is, as a society, why is it that we focus more along we had an aunt who had breast cancer, but at the same time, each disease has its own importance. So why is it that we don't have walks
why don't we stress
for
it more?
heart disease or walks for lupus or whatever the case may be? Because each disease can be detrimental.
This is true. I think, and I'm not going to say, well, let's go back to what heart disease is. It's an umbrella term for any type of disorder that affects the heart. So, kind of like I said, anything that goes wrong with the heart means that as cardiac disease, but a cardiovascular disease. So anything with the heart that goes wrong. So many things probably can fall under it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why, because it's so broad.
It sounds like a very broad term, and it is not something that I know a lot about. You know what I mean? When you think about it, like I said, we had a close community icon pass, and with that in mind, it opens your eyes, and you start to think like, well, how can it affect me? Have I been doing what I'm supposed to do to make sure that I'm going to be okay? But when you think about who it affects, That's the part that really got me when I was doing the research. In terms of the race of ethnic group, African Americans are 24.5% of the heart disease deaths.
Dang.
Yeah, and the second highest is Asians.
That's strange, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we eat crazy sometimes. Chicken.
It says Asians.
But they usually,
And then
stereotype.
Hispanics.
But then-
Hispanics are second or
that
third.
culture tends to eat pretty decent, I think. Like rice is good for you.
This is true.
And they usually have good portion sizes. Like when
This
you
is
go to
true.
Asian countries, you're not going to get, like, a Big Mac in an Asian country is not the same as a Big Mac here.
This is true. I think that I don't know. I think when I do have a list of stuff that they need to focus on so it won't happen to you.
Okay.
I don't know if it's. Now I do want to say here on Clean Fit Junkie Radio, I'm not saying that if you do all of these things, you will
won't
not
have it.
receive heart disease. These are just things to help prevent heart disease. There's actually top 10. The first one is don't smoke or use tobacco.
Okay.
Check.
Check.
Exercise for 30 minutes on most days of the week.
Uncheck.
You need to fix that.
Well, being that I only have one job now, I can go to the gym all the time.
Praise God to one job. Eat a heart-healthy diet. What's a heart-healthy diet?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You need to stay away from saturated fats. What's saturated fats?
Right.
Red meat.
So pork.
Red meat, pork, which includes pork and beef.
So you can eat chicken.
Chicken, fish, turkey. Okay. Dairy products. You want to stay away from a lot of dairy products. When you're talking about this, they're saying 10% of your diet can be saturated fat, but you can't have a lot of it. So stay away from like the milk, a lot of milk and
What about
cheese.
cheese? Like Cracker Barrel cheese?
Yes.
Extra
The block
sharp?
of cheese? Yes. No. Coconut and palm oils, but it says you should take trans fat out of your diet altogether. And
I don't know
trans
what
fat,
trans fat is.
I'm going to tell you, it's deep fried fast foods, bakery products, packaged snack foods, margarines, and crackers.
So Cookout and Snackwell snacks that
Right.
say 100 calories in the blue pack. We shouldn't eat those either?
No, I think the 100 calories is going to be okay.
Okay.
Maintain a healthy weight. So you want to try to maintain a healthy weight. That one I'm not really in agreement with, because if you look at the chart may say if you're 5'3", you're supposed to be 130 pounds. That might not be your necessarily healthy weight. That's just based off of a health region that they've given to doctors and everyone goes by. So I don't necessarily approve of that one. But get enough quality sleep. So I don't do this at all. Do you?
No, I don't sleep at all.
But now you will.
Now I will. One job, one man.
Get regular health screenings. This is huge. I don't think our community, especially the African American community, goes to the doctor enough. I don't think we go to the doctor. I think we skip the doctor. I had a grandmother who ended up having breast cancer towards the end of her life, and when she was about 90. Yes.
Dang, I didn't even know that about my grandma.
That's my sister. Wow. Okay, so they found cancer in her breast, but they said they don't know how long it had been there because they don't know when she went to the doctor last.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dad's grandmother.
That's crazy.
Mhm.
You might
So-
have told a family secret.
I possibly did on the air, but it's okay. But I mean, that's a perfect reflection of, and I don't think it's not necessarily bad. I think in the African American community, it was just not routine to go to the doctor because it may cost money. They might not be able to afford it. I mean, who hasn't had that moment where you want to go to the ER, but you can't because you're like, I don't want to have to pay for that ER bill, or I don't want to pay for the ambulance bill.
Yeah, because the ambulance costs $500.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it just comes with it, and we may
I
not.
think it might be a generation.
It could be a generational thing, as well as more along the lines of minorities altogether.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and based off of your income.
Yeah.
So we don't get enough health screenings, but do know that you can contact your local city and find out the local city health department. Find out their screenings. They have free physicals.
They have free everything. I just found out that there is a free clinic right in Newport News, right off of J. Clad, and they will give you free vitamins, y'all.
free multivitamins.
Free multivitamins. You know how much a prenatal not that I'm in
She's so
with
pumped
child,
up. She's
but
so pumped
prenatal vitamins are good to help your hair grow. they do everything else. So I just got 2 bottles of like 100 pills in the free clinic. They said they've been there for 60 years.
Yes, I too have gone to the free clinic because as a single woman in the past, that was the thing to do. You go to the free clinic, you get your medicine. I had a toothache one time. I went to the clinic. People need to utilize the city for the options and the resources that they do have. I think that's huge. So make sure you reach out and do that. It's time to play some music again, y'all. We're gonna put some Michael Jackson back on, and
Are we gonna play Aaliyah too?
we're going to play some Aaliyah. I mix some Aaliyah in here at the end. So we're about to get to it. It's Clean Fit Junkie Radio. It's your girl Tasha Mack and my co-host Rose Monroe. We will see you when we get back.